and welcome to today's episode of Unseen Scars, a podcast dedicated to amplifying the voices of survivors of gender-based violence. I'm your host, Victoria Najumo. Today we have with us a special guest who will discuss the invisible emotional scars of surviving gender-based violence and how healing is a journey that begins with understanding and support. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
When we talk about unseen scars, we often refer to the psychological and emotional toll that comes with surviving abuse. Can we talk about some of the emotional or psychological effects that women or girls who have experienced violence might carry with them long after the physical signs fade?
Okay, thank you. So I once had a friend that boyfriend usually beats, and then when they broke up and went their separate ways, she started dating a new person that was really good to her, but she didn't know that was like a good thing. So when she offends the guy, she goes to bring like something belt or turning stick and gives it to him and say, "Oh yeah, beat me." And then I have seen it like play out in my friend. She's always usually scared of speaking up herself. So it has like a
psychological effects, right?
Yes, it does have a psychological effect. Yes, on an individual that has gone through GBV.
Okay, so what about people who have gone through this effect, this whole GBV, gender-based violence, but do not know how to come out of it? They feel that it is okay for it. They feel like it's normal to be beaten or to pass through that particular violence in their relationship or whatever thing they are in.
Okay, speaking of friends and coming out, it's usually very hard for people that have set themselves, like they've been beaten and they don't see the reason to leave. They think they are like useless because the men tend to make them see a part of them that is not true. Like they'll tell you something like, nobody else can be with you, you are not very useful. You know, that those type of emotional and violence is also GBV. So it's in their head, and most times it takes like somebody that they look up to talk to them, or God himself. Because speaking of the friend, before they broke up, before her and her boyfriend broke up, she didn't want to leave the relationship. He beat her, and then we saw it. He beat her. She had scars. She had like a broken rib, and then we rushed to their house because they were not cohabitating, but he came over to our side to beat her. And then she went to the hospital. We took her to the hospital, and when we were coming back, we asked her if she wanted to leave the relationship, and she was like, no, that they will talk about it and they will see where it leads. So I just personally think that it's either they have somebody that they're looking up to that tells them the truth, or God really helps her, because God really helped her and she was able to leave.
No, she was able to leave.
I'm talking about two different friends now.
Okay.
The
so
second
one was able to leave, the other person
they broke up with her. They broke up with her now.
Oh, so the abuser broke up with her.
Yeah.
How was her? How did she react to that heartbreak? Because obviously those set of people or people who are experiencing such violence would not feel okay leaving the relationship regardless of that violence, or don't you think so?
Well, the second person, we asked if she was going to leave, and she said no. They will walk out and see what can be done. That one, when she left, when he said something very stupid, and then she left the relationship.
She was able to leave.
She was able to leave. He said something very stupid like, "Maybe your friends have known now." Something really stupid. He said that, and then because I say that God is only God that helped her. When he said that, I think he came to a realization that she has been dating a monster, and God really helped her. But the second person, she was not happy. You know, when they go through a breakup, like she went through a breakup with a normal person. She didn't go through a breakup with a normal person, but she thought it was normal. That's why I said when they beat her, when her and her new boyfriend are talking or are having an argument, she will give him something to use to eat, and that one will be like, no, I cannot eat you, I would rather leave. So she was not used to the
Not getting beaten up.
yes, she was not used to that life. But she's healing now, thank God.
So speaking about the healing process that you said she's still healing, I would ask you a general question.
Okay.
So looking at what you witnessed, because you are a witness of all of a GBV survivor, what do you think is this healing process all about? What do you think happens to a girl who probably must have grown up in an abusive home? Do you think there's a healing process that can actually make her or make that child come out of it? Because the story you just told us right now, you said one of your friends, you guys took her to the hospital, but she was like, oh, they will talk about it. Do you think that probably the reason why she still thought about talking about it with her boyfriend instead of just walking away or leaving was because she found out or she saw it as a normal thing based on the home she was brought about?
I don't think so, because this friend was really taking care of her parents. Like she's married now, but to a very beautiful, amazing man. Very beautiful, calm, loving. We love him for her. She grew up in a beautiful home. I just feel they have like a psychological effect on this woman. So they tend to brainwash them and make them feel like they are everything and a bag of chips. They are not anything. But these women now see them as like an idol, and they just want to always be with them. Now, speaking of girls that grew up in an abusive home, I grew up in an abusive home where my father eats my mother. For me, I'm speaking for myself personally. I will say that those girls grow up to either be insecure, to either have insecurity, low self-esteem, or I'll grow up to be very angry. I grew up to be very angry.
So you get angry easily?
I get angry easily. I get really angry when I see a guy that has like a very, very tiny pattern of my dad. I'm like, no, I can't go there. But
like a big red flag.
It's a very big red flag. But my father was a sweet man to his children. For a very good part of his years. He was really kind. He loved school, takes care of us. He didn't say that I wasn't going to pay for our school fees and all. He wanted us to all go to good universities, good private schools. We did go to good schools and all. But he beats our mom, my mom, and it made me a really angry person. It made me a really angry person. I really didn't like guys like having the last say. So when you say one, I'll say like 10. I know.
But okay, let's assume that our mother's times will tell you that, because I have also been a witness to search, and they will tell you that, oh, I want to stay for my children. Do you think this was probably the reason that guided your mom to want to stay instead of just walking out at that point in time?
Yes. She really stayed because of us. She stayed because of us. Because I don't know, when we think about it, she went through childbirth and all. It's really hard. Some women do that. Some women leave their children, but it's really hard for her to like go and not leave and not look back. Rather, it's really hard for her to like leave the house and not look back. So she stayed because of us. She says it. She said it because my dad is late now. When he was alive, when they were staying together now, she was saying, "Oh, she's staying because of us and all." And it's looking back now, I think it shouldn't be. We should say that you fought for us. I guess it should make us know that yes, you fought for us, even if when the man is saying like another thing, like oh, your mother did not fight for you. We saw that you fought for us, but you leave because it gives you peace of mind.
All right, so this now it's more like a general question.
Okay.
So you know that gender-based violence affects millions of women and girls across the world, millions of them. So what do you think is one of the biggest or one of the some misconceptions that people have against women and girls who experience GBV?
Okay, I would say number one is they will say, what will the society think about it? Or what will the society, what will people say about it? Or if you leave your husband because he's beating you, what do you think the people that are living around will say about it? And I think that should not even be a question because they are not in your home. They don't see what you go through. Those people that talk like that, they probably are in a very sweet relationship. That they and their husband fight, which is like normal, but they don't see like the depths. They don't know what you go through. They don't see that it's like normal fights. Another thing that people say is if you leave the marriage, who will get married to like a divorcee? But I feel like out there are a lot of people getting married to different kinds of people, divorcee or not divorcee. And just because you have made a mistake doesn't mean you make another kind of mistake again.
All right, so one more question before you go. So what would you say to people who are going through something similar right now but are feeling so afraid to speak up? And what message would you want to drive home from this episode? Like what would you want to tell people concerning finding their voice and probably speaking up?
Okay, number one is speak up. Talk, because nobody actually got you than you got yourself. You have to talk, and there's nothing that will happen from talking. That's one. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. What is the worst they will do? Hit you. Leave. Look back, of course. Look at your children, but let them know that you fought for them. You fought for their custody. In case if the man is a very rich man or something, leave the relationship, because if you die, a stepmother will come and take care of your children, and they might not treat your children well, and they will pay you, because we don't know how the afterlife is. I don't know if you can see what's going on earth or anything, but if you can see, you see how somebody else is treating your children or your child, and you'll really be pained.
Okay, so before leaving, as you just said something, this is your final, should I say final goodbye, brought something to my thinking. Looking back now, would you have wished your mom walked away from that abuse?
Well, she eventually did. She did. But not because she wanted to leave. She always came to see us and all. So she did. Yeah, she did.
All right, guys, you've heard it. So it's a wonderful episode, don't you think so? There are millions of people suffering from GBV out there. Thank you so much for sharing this story today. Your words have been so powerful, and your resilience, or rather your friend's resilience, has been so inspiring. To all our listeners out there, remember that your voice matters, your healing matters, and together we can make a difference. If you or someone you know is affected by gender-based violence, please do well to reach out for help. There are people out there ready to support you. Until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep shining. I remain your host, Victoria Najimo.